Hey Sal, guess what? It's our 20th episode.
No way! That's crazy! We should do something special to celebrate.
Great idea. What should we do? Should we throw a massive party?
No, that's been done. I think that instead we should take some time to thank all our influences and maybe list some of our biggest inspirations.
You mean like an episode of shout-outs to our favorite bands and shows and stuff?
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Okay, why don't you start?
Sure. First of all, on our 20th episode, I'd like to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in and subscribing. We're glad you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, thank you.
And secondly, I'd like to thank Slank. You got any Slank? Anybody?
Sal.
Okay, forget Slank. I'd like to thank Weed.
That's better. Yeah, weed. That's gotta be our prime motivator. Huh.
Matter of fact, I bet that's what all our viewers would like to thank right now, too.
Well, yeah, but back to the show.
Okay, yeah, right. So, other than Weed, we want to give a shout out to some of our biggest influences. I think first up would be Dr. Katz, professional therapist. We're huge fans of the show and the way it's presented.
For sure. It was a big inspiration on our animation style.
Yeah, another big inspiration for us is The Life and Times of Tim, a show that proves you don't need to be an artist to be an animator.
Nope. You just need an army of talented voice actors and writers.
Just like us. We're also inspired by Noel Fielding and the Mighty Boosh. There's not much animation, but we love the characters.
Genius! And thanks to the Boosh, we were introduced to even more of our influences, like Richard Fulcher, Matt Berry, and Julian Barrett.
I wonder if he's related to Sid Barrett. He's one of my all-time heroes.
You know he's not. And now you're just using this as an excuse to go on about Sid Barrett and Pink Floyd.
Jeez. Okay, another of our biggest influences is the Young Ones. Their punk rock approach to filmmaking was a huge inspiration to us, proving you don't need fancy sets, expensive props, a decent wardrobe, or any kind of class at all to be a success.
Once again, just like us. Well, that was weird. Why did we have a transition? Anyway, yeah, we love a lot of British shows and comedians. The IT Crowd, Monty Python, Toast of London, Luxury Comedy, House of Fools.
We're also big fans of home movies. It's almost a spin-off from Dr. Katz, but made by Brendan Small, the creator of Metalocalypse, another big influence of ours.
Speaking of bands, some of my biggest influences have been Soul Coughing, The Beatles, Pink Floyd,
With or without Sid Barrett.
both, as long as it's with Roger Waters.
I'd like to thank Slank.
You already did that, Sal. How about your favorite bands?
Well, I like Craptoe and Floogie. I also like Devo, Radiohead, Nirvana, Jack White, and Frank Zappa.
All the usuals, of course. I'm also a big fan of Medusa on SoundCloud. Another big influence of both of us is My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult.
For sure. If you haven't heard of them, what are you doing watching us?
There's also Prince, The Cure, The Knife and Fever Ray, and Roxy Music.
What about RSG?
Well, it's not fair to list our band as an influence, Sal. Sal Sharkington, if that's your real name.
Of course it is, Jenny Jumble.
There's that damn transition again. What are they getting paid each time that thing goes by?
I think YouTube needs a station identification once in a while or something.
So anyway, back to us. Many of our favorite films deserve to be recognized on our special tribute show.
Of course. But man, the list is so long. I guess I'll just list our most favorite ones to give them the idea.
The idea of what?
The idea of what to watch, silly. Okay, first one you should be watching is The Stone Age. It's one of our favorite movies and we draw a lot of inspiration from it.
That's right, worm. But enough about you, Joe. Because another one you should have already watched is Repo Man, a movie that transcends its punk rock image.
Damn straight, Melon Farmer. Another influence is Forbidden Zone, done by the Oingo Boingo Boys and starring Tattoo. It melts your brain just enough to be able to make shows like the QUAZAR Bar.
Well, speak for yourself, Sal. Your brain is mostly fried by slank. My brain, on the other hand, is fried mostly by movies like The Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm sure most of you have seen that one.
Slank.
Well, I can see you're having another flashback. In the meantime, I'd like to give shout-outs to some of my fellow SoundCloud artists, like Belial Pellegrim, Tarka, and Jeebus. There are so many more, but I'm sure they all know who they are.
I'd like to thank John Waters, Steve Martin, Alex Cox, Vincent Gallo, Matt Sloan.
Oh yeah, Chad Vader is a huge inspiration to us. Thanks to Matt and Craig and Aaron and even Baby Cookie.
I love Baby Cookie.
Exactly. I guess our list isn't complete without further shout-outs to Broad City, Sunny in Philadelphia, Saturday Night Live, and major favorites of ours, The Kids in the Hall.
If you haven't seen The Kids in the Hall, you have a major gap in your education.
Exactly. Also, Syphil and Ollie, a show you only saw if you watched MTV at 3 a.m. in 1989.
You know I did. I also watched The Big Lebowski, Raising Arizona, pretty much anything by the Coen brothers.
Leads. That leads us to our next shout-out, the cult classic Frankenhooker, a charming movie about a boy and his girl and super crack.
Crack!
Super crack, actually, Sal, but you don't want any of that. Other inspirations of mine are How I Met Your Mother and Two Broke Girls. I watch them all the time.
Ew, bad choice, dude. Those shows will rot your brain.
As if, Sal. What are your influences? Jandek? The Unabomber? Whoever heard of those guys?
Two-Lane Blacktop, Bruce Campbell, The Holy Mountain, Mike Judge, Children's Hospital, The Kroll Show, Idiocracy. There's Upright Citizens Brigade.
Okay, Sal, we're about out of time. I want to get out of here before another one of those annoying transitions interrupts us. So thank you, once again, all of our influences and supporters. Here's a brief list of those we forgot to mention.